Hey y'all, it's Mary. It is Sunday night, and this is Stamps-N-Lingers doing another card video tutorial, or more like I kind of yak and chat, and you guys watch me make a card. So I appreciate you joining me and spending part of your Sunday night with me. I know y'all are busy, so I will go ahead and get started. And this is the card that we're going to make. I had seen something similar with the little piggies from this little piggy swimming in the water, and I thought it was so cute. And a friend of mine, her daughter is having kind of a hard time right now, so this card will head out in the mail tomorrow for her. She loves pigs, and so why wouldn't it be this little piggy? I'm going to call it the Miss Piggy stamp set, okay, because that's what comes to my brain. Hey Paula, hey Denise and Sue, glad you could join me. I appreciate that very much. So anyway, this is the front of the card, and as you can see, I've kind of done a few little techniques, and we're going to talk our way through some of them. And then on the inside, I borrowed a sentiment from the brand new Count My Blessings set. This will be available next Friday with the holiday card, the holiday catalog. And I added a piggy and a couple of little hearts. So let us get started. There's quite a bit of fussy cutting to go. I did fussy cut one of my pigs already, but you're going to have to sit through me doing the other, and quite a bit of coloring. So we have some work to do tonight. So like I said, it's this little piggy stamp set is the basic stamp set, and then the brand new Count My Blessings. I just borrowed this one sentiment. I just think that's the prettiest font ever. Hey Carol, hey Linda, glad you guys could join, and Verna and Pamela. Appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate that a lot. I know everybody's busy, so the fact that you spend part of your weekend with me means a lot to me. So I'm going to set these aside. We'll also play with the Seaside Textured Impressions Embossing folder and one handy little die from the new Seasonal Layers Thinlits. All right, so let us begin. Now, here's the card cuts, and even though I am way behind today, because I went and had a play date with Finn instead of doing my blog, all of the card cuts will be on tomorrow's blog post, so not to worry if you don't catch them. I've got one little piggy already cut out, and she is stamped in Flirty Flamingo ink, and I've got one ready to go. And then I have 4 pieces of the new Color Theory cardstock. Hey Jean and Sharon and Judy, thank you so much for joining. Jean, I hope Donna's having a better night. So anyway, I have 4 of these pieces, and you can see they are roughly the same. What I have done is I used the scalloped die in the Seasonal Layers Thinlits, and I cut the top of each piece. The first thing I did was to cut them to 4 inches wide. I'm eventually going to want them to be the same as my card front, but I'm going to emboss them first and then attempt to cut them on camera without ripping them up. So if you look at these, you can see that when I cut them, I moved the die. Come on, die. I moved the die around, so the first one I cut here, the second one I cut there, and the third one and the fourth one, so that when I stack them up on the card front, they look more like waves than they would if they were all lined up. So that's how the card is going to look. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to emboss each piece of this in the Seaside Teeth, and then I'm going to cut them down to size. All right, so let me get Mr. Big Shot over here, and we'll talk. These are not very surprising. We've got 2 pieces of Whisper White, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, my normal size for my cards, and then 2 pieces of Flirty Flamingo. Hey Jerry, hey Deborah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you joining, and hey Karen. So anyway, 2 pieces of Flirty Flamingo, 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then my card base is Dapper Denim. It is 4 1/4 by 11, and we'll get that scored and folded at 5 1/2 inches. So for now, I will set these aside and bring over Mr. Big Shot. Alright, now I've got the Big Shot platform. I've taken out the Thinlits die adapter so that I can emboss. And when I set aside my doohickeys, I set aside my teeth. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and emboss each one, making sure that I emboss it, you know, this way instead of this way, because that would be weird waves, wouldn't it? And I also want to be certain that I am embossing on my top piece. Alright. Now you'll see the bottom is sticking out because I haven't done any cutting down to size in the vertical direction yet. Alright, we're going to run this through. And we're going to do that a few times here. Now, here's a thing. The color theory is not terribly thick, so once you emboss it, it's a little bit delicate. So don't be, you know, yanking it around. You just have to be kind of careful with it, alright? But other than that, it should be pretty easy to work with. Alright. So Finn and I went over to his sister's house this evening, and he had a play date, and y'all, I'm pretty certain he ran approximately 27 miles in just over 30 minutes, and all in a circle. They circled and circled and circled. We were sitting in some chairs out on the lawn, and they must have galloped around us. It was just hysterical to watch it. I've got pictures, and you will see them in the next few days, because they were fun to watch. It was definitely worth not getting my blog post done yet and having that waiting for me when we get done here. But he needed it. You'll also see a picture of him this week where he's picked up his Frisbee and gone to sit on the ottoman of the chair in relatively non-subtle fashion, telling me, "It's time to play with the dog, Mom. Quit doing cards. That's stupid. Cards are stupid. I want you to play with the dog." So we did. We went and played some Frisbee. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so that is... Boy, I wish they had a pig die, because I would love to have been able to just cut Miss Piggy out with a die instead of fussy cutting her. But it is what it is. We'll put Mr. Big Shot away. And now you can see it's kind of starting to come together as ocean, right? Now, I'm going to cut these down. When I first made this card, I originally thought that I would leave all of these layers to where they all cut off right at the bottom of the card base. And then I realized that that was dumb. There was no need for that. So I've taken some measurements so that we can cut them down. I'm also going to go ahead and cut this down to 3 7/8. I think I told you last week, when you're embossing paper, you want, it helps me at least, to make your paper a little bit bigger than you need it to be, and then cut it down. And that's of course always a trick, because, you know, cutting embossed paper is not easy, so bear with me while I kind of take it slow here. And all I'm doing is I'm lining the left side up with the 3 7/8 inch mark, making sure it's relatively straight. Now my top may not actually be straight, so I'm lining up here and along here, and I'm using my carefully calibrated eyeball, and we'll see whether I'm dead on or, you know. Y'all remember the movie? I'm just cracking myself up. Y'all remember the movie My Cousin Vinny? When Marissa Tomei is testifying, I can't even work while I say this, is testifying at the trial near the end, and she said, "You're dead on balls right." That's what I need to see if I'm going to be, is dead on balls right. So what I did here is I pulled my trimming blade up into the cardstock and put it down, and then started my cut, so that I'm not trying to cut right on that embossed edge. That makes it very difficult. And don't waste time, just get through with it. Alright? So we'll do that like that. And this is the top wave, so it wants to be 2 1/8 inches from the top of the scallop to the bottom. So we will cut that now while I've got it out. All right. Hi Holly, how are you? Yes, Paula, that is correct. He's doing what his job is. If he was like a Fitbit and would do it every 50 minutes, so I would get up and go, that would be good. Okay, so again, start inside where I want my card to, or my paper to cut, and there's the first one. So far, so good. So this one again, 3 7/8. Yeah, okay. 3 7/8. That looked different, and I thought, oh my goodness, I just cut that completely wrong, but I didn't. Okay, so we'll bring it up. Also helps if you have a sharp blade. So this second wave, you can see I've made my sticky note sheet. The second wave is at 2 3/8. And I did this just so that I wouldn't have quite so much thickness. It gets pretty thick under there with all of these all the same distance. I'm glad you just got a trimmer, Karen. Yeah, this one it's a pretty good trimmer. It's a pretty good trimmer. Okay. There's wave number 2. And you can see all I'm going to do when I make the card front is I'm just going to offset them as I glue them to the card front. So only 2 more to go. Hang with me, people. I know, this is like, you know what? Next week, I'll just put out a bucket of concrete and I'll put some water in it and we'll just sit and watch it dry, because I know that's about how exciting this is right here. There's 3 7/8. This next wave is at 2 1/2. Now, Jean, don't let Donna see this, because this card's coming to her. So she should have a surprise. And if you want a surprise, you should not watch. Okay, last one, people, last one. I feel like I'm leading an aerobics class, which, if you've ever seen my hind end, you know for a fact is never going to happen, ever. One more, feel the burn. Woo! One more. Okay, and the last one is at 4 1/8 inches. Okay. Look at that. I managed to cut all of those without tearing my paper. That might be some kind of a record. I'm not entirely sure. All right, Mr. Trimmer, let's go away. Hi, Kirsty. How are you? Hey, Julie. Yes, Julie, I am measuring from the top of the scallop down. So I put where my measurement is with the top of the scallop. Yes. Okay. And then this is how it's going to line up. And we've kind of cut just a little bit of thickness out of that. So every little bit helps. Okay, now I'm going to make my sunset. And if I can find my first card, then I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to make a little bit of sunrise or sunset. I don't know, do you think pigs would prefer to swim at sunrise or at sunset? I don't know. I'm thinking this is a sunset. Regardless, it's going to look about the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this with my Wink of Stella. And what that kind of does for me is it adds a little shine without me having to do anything. Hey Paula, it sounds like you had a fun time though. You tired? Stamp camp sounds fun. Alright, so in order to paint with your ink pad lids, you first want to give them a squeeze to transfer the ink up into the ink pad. And this is very scientific coloring, people, so it's going to look exactly the same as my as my sample did. Hang on, I need a drink. My throat is getting tickly. I'm yakking too much. Sunset because they've gotten muddy during the day. This is a fine point. Okay, so I'm going to start by just picking up some of my, this is Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to start it. I don't really know exactly where my waves are going to come, so I'm going to overcompensate a little bit. Again, this is very scientific. First thing I'm doing is putting some sunset, sunrise, sunset, like that. See how you get that little bit of shine? Do remember, I am only using regular Whisper White cardstock, so you can't really soak it. So you have to kind of be careful about that. Pull this out to the edges a little bit. Like that. Okay, wipe that down. Pick up a little bit of my, this is Pool Party. And then I'm going to kind of go along the edges. And I don't want to really push into that yellow too much, because last time I checked, green wasn't really a color of a sunset. And that's what I'll get if I'm not careful. So to start with, I'm just going along the edges here. And then I'll kind of pull in. And that's, once that Daffodil Delight is kind of dry, it doesn't, you can go quick. You see I'm moving pretty quick with, I'm not doing a lot of this kind of painting. Everything's moving fast. That. Just one of my, I love coloring with a wink, a clear wink, because it just gives that instant shine, and you don't have to come back and do anything again later. Yeah, Mary, you're right. Hey, Robbie, how are you doing tonight? I'm glad you could come in. Okay. So you can see that looks like a total sunset. All you guys are looking at it going, wow, look at that Mary. She's like Rembrandt. It's amazing. Who knew? Yeah, no, not so much. Okay, now I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo. You can see I've already got a little bit of it. And I'm going to wipe it off pretty good. And I just want to touch, 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 touch. Not very much. Touch, 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 touch. Because last time I checked, there was pink in sunsets. So, just like that. Okay. That's plenty of that. Hey, Rosalie, you made it! Good morning from Australia. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that quite a bit. Glad you could make it. Alright, we're going to call that good, because to be quite honest, we're going to cover it up pretty good. Alright, and it's been my experience that the more I mess with something, the more likely it is I'm going to screw it up. So now I'm going to take the little cloud doodad from the Piggy set, this little Piggy, and I'm going to stamp me some clouds. Stamp me some clouds, Mary. And this is going to be, again, very scientific. I think there's going to be clouds in front of the sunset. I'm not really sure that's a thing, but it is here today. And just some clouds, because I like them. Okay, put that aside, and then I think it's a good thing you can't hear us. What are you saying? Hi, Twyla from North Kakalaki. Where are you from in North Kakalaki? Alright, so now I'm going to take the Hogs and Kisses sentiment, which is at the bottom of this little Piggy right here. And I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majiggy. It was right there. There it is. Use my Stamp-A-Majig to put on my sentiment, and I'm going to do it. Thank you, Paula. I liked my son too. I'm going to do it in Dapper Denim, and here's how we're going to do this. First, I'm going to cover this Piggy Can you see it? Am I still in the... Yeah, I am. I'm going to cover the Piggy like so with a sticky note. And then I'm going to tap, 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 tap. Pick the sticky note up, ask me how I know that you got to do that, and get my Stamp-N-Lingers set up, like so. And then I'm going to do a wag about where I want it. I'm going to say I want it right about there, like so, like so. Put my Stamp-N-Lingers back on and get that out of the way. Then do the tap, tap, tap thingy again. Cover up the Piggy. Tap, tap, tap. Now I gotta tell you, if I used this stamp set a lot and wanted these sentiments separate, I'd be cutting that smack off of there to avoid this kind of... Oh, you're with where there's a trolley. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm glad I can't hear that. Alright, I'll throw that away before I have Dapper Denim ink all over me. Just make sure I didn't get anything anywhere I didn't want it. And then down goes the sentiment. Okay, and now we'll set that aside for half a second. Move this away so again I don't get Dapper Denim. And now we have our sunset done, we have our ocean done. Now it's time to, let's make some piggies. Let's make some piggies. Did I sound like... So you can see I have stamped her in Flirty Flamingo. Hey Denise, I hope you get a chance to watch Have a Good Time with your dad and his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday for me. And enjoy your barbecue. Okay, so I'm going to just fussy cut Miss Piggy here. Because nothing better than watching me fussy cut a pig, right? That didn't even sound good when I said it to myself. Alrighty. Hey y'all, have you seen my bundles? Have you seen my Painted Harvest bundles? I want you to take a look at those and get signed up. There's only a few days left to sign up, which of course also means there's only a few days left to wait for the holiday catalog. But they're good deals. You get free shipping, free tax, and a bit of a break on the bundles themselves. And it's kind of got a lot of good things in it. You've got some jute twine, or some jute, well, jute twine you can get as a free goodie, or black rhinestones. But it's got one of my favorite things, which is the 5/8 inch burlap ribbon. You can get it with the ink pads or without. And you get the bundle with the stamp set and the leaf punch, a pack of paper, a pack of cardstock of the Painted Autumn cardstock, which is Early Espresso, Garden Green, and Crumb Cake. Turning. See, I'm turning my paper, not my scissors, like that. And for those people who order the bundles, I'll be giving you double peppermint points. So the smaller bundle, which is the one without the ink pads, that's the only difference between the two bundles. The one without the ink pads is $76. You'll get 6 peppermint points for that. And the larger one with them, if you do not have Garden Green, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, and Early Espresso, then you want to get the deluxe bundle. And that is $99. And that, I'm going to round up a little bit, you're going to get 8 peppermints with that, which puts you halfway to a $40 gift, free gift. So I'd encourage you to check that out. It's a very good deal. They'll ship directly to you. You won't even have to wait for me to get it and turn it back around. All right. So that's my promotional plug for the evening. I promise I won't do it again, except to say how excited are you that it's almost time for the holiday catalog. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I shouldn't sing. No, I shouldn't. You guys should have seen Finn tonight. Man, he was having the best time. He and his sister, their way of playing is to gallop at 1 billion miles an hour. I'm not even exaggerating very much. And then body roll each other. And so that you see these two Aussies going teacup over kettle. And then they just leap up and keep going. Every once in a while, they'll circle in and lay down in the grass, and they're panting like steam engines. They're so tired. And then a few minutes go by, and round 3, ding! They had a good time. He's going to sleep very good tonight. He is coming under the table as we speak. You probably can't hear him. He's finally quit panting. You got your list ready, Mary? That is awesome. I do too, unfortunately. I do too. Now here's the question, Mary. Are you going to stay up late or get up early so that you can get ordered first thing? I know I'm not, because I just can't do that anymore. Okay. Although I will get up pretty early to order all the bundles that are being purchased, because I want everybody to get those. Okay. Now we're going to do a little more coloring. And we're going to color Miss Piggy. Here we're going to color Miss Piggy. And get some ink up there. No, you can't order everything at once. You have to at least space it out by a week or 2. Hey, Ann. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you spending a little time with me tonight. All right, here we go. Now, once again, Clear Wink Estella. This is powder pink ink, and I'm going to start by just, first of all, making sure I don't have any blue or any other colors in there, because a blue pig? No. No. Okay, now I'm going to color everything except her wings and her schnoozle, because I'm going to use a non-colored clear wink. And so really all I'm doing here is doing a quick fill-in of my powder pink ink on her whole body. Not spending a whole lot of time right over her eyes and mouth there, because that is classic ink and it'll pick it up and pull it, and I don't want to do that. I'm also not getting real head up about making it look smooth, because it's a pig and they're not really smooth. They're kind of hairy. So, you know, I want her to have a little texture like she's an actual piggy who's swimming in the ocean, and has wings. Totally realistic. So it's very important that she look like a very real pig now. Alright, just getting some quick swirls of powder pink in there. A week is about right, Karen. Just long enough to make you wish you'd bought it all at once and saved yourself double shipping. Okay, so there's that. And we'll do the same thing with Piggy number 2. Now the card I saw somewhere out on Pinterest, don't even remember where, I think they only had 1 Piggy. I'm pretty sure pigs would not swim alone, because everybody knows you really need to use the buddy system, right? Because it's dangerous to swim alone. You shouldn't do it. Shouldn't do it. Alright, here we go. I think Powder Pink and Flirty Flamingo is a perfectly reasonable and very accurate depiction of pig color. So for those of you who are new to my videos, first of all, thank you again, but understand that my computer is sitting off to my left side of the screen, and as I'm sitting here looking down, I don't always see comments. So if you have a question, I really would like to answer it, but I might not see it. Okay, so if you see it, if you put up a question and I don't answer it, it's because the comment has scrolled out of my screen and I simply didn't see it. So give me another try. Okay, so now I'm going to take some Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to be much more circumspect with this because now I'm going to do a little shading. And I'm just doing, this is a significantly darker color, as you can tell. So I'm just adding in some shading where I think she would be shaded. And I'm also going to give her some Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo feet. Also, I believe her tail should be Flirty Flamingo. Yes, that makes perfect sense to me. And then this is a inside leg, so I'm thinking that's probably a little darker. And this leg is probably a little darker. And then she's probably got some shade under her ear balls there. Just a little bit. It's not very much. Could you do it without it? Probably, but why would you? Why would you? And then kind of smooth that out a little bit. And then I think she's probably got a little bit of, I mean, I know I have some shadows on my belly, so I'm pretty sure she does too. And I know my little halflinger girls do, so there you go. And then just pull that out. And kind of feather it a little bit. Okay, so there's Piggy numero uno. And I only have to do that 12 more times. Okay, I'm going to stop a second and read some I once saw a mud waller with at least 30 pigs in up to their snouts. I made my other half stop so I could take pictures. Yeah, I bet that was cool. I bet that was cool. I like pigs. I remember the first time I ever saw pigs grazing in a pasture. I just didn't even know that pigs grazed, number one. And I had never seen them in a pasture, so I was kind of tickled by that. Our friends had a pig, the same people who have Scout. Her name was Sarah, and was, because she died recently. She had a very good life. But she had my number, so she knew that if she came after me, even at her, you know, slow pig pace, I was getting out of her way, because they had told me, oh, don't worry, she just bumped the back of your leg with her snout. Does she have teeth? Well, yeah, but, you know, she doesn't really bite much, so yeah, I'm not going to be attacked by a pig. So I always made Wayne get out of the car and tell me where she was so that I could beat feet up into the house. Because, yeah, pigs, horses don't scare me. Pigs, she scared me, okay? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to put her out of the way. And then we're going to start building, folks. Let's build us an ocean. Build me an ocean. Okay, so we're going to start with our largest piece. And we're going to use liquid glue so that we have a little time, because time is good. And I think I might be out of liquid glue in this bottle. Hang on just a second. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to grab another bottle. Hang on. Alright, so we're going to use some liquid glue just around the edges. You don't have to get too fed up. Too much of it. Like that. And then we're going to put it on and just line up our edges and our bottom. Okay, like so. Alright. Now, this is a card where you kind of want to do a little bit of dry fitting along, because you want to make sure that you have them diving and playing correctly. So one little piggy is going to be diving in like this, and then there's going to be some ocean like that. And I wanted to be able to see her little face because she's so freaking cute. So she'll be like that. Oh, like that. Okay. And then we'll do another ocean. Kind of trying to keep them about the same wave height, because of course it's a very realistic ocean. And then the other one is going to be doing a backwards dive, like a flip in the water, because she is just so happy. She's just so happy, like that. And then this one will be like so. Okay, so see, I know that the top one here, the bottom top one, has to be there. So now I'll adjust where she's going to be based on that, like so. Y'all don't let me glue them in without fixing their wings, because they don't have shiny wings, and that's just not right. It's just not right. They gotta have shiny wings and a shiny snoot. Okay, so that's how that's gonna look. And here's a little tip, y'all. When you have a layout where it kind of matters where everything is, and you spend any kind of significant time at all making it right, when you get it there, take a picture of it. And then with your phone, your handy phone that has a camera, and then you can have the picture sitting, and when you take it all apart to assemble it, then you can see where you had everything. Okay, I'm not going to do that due to the fact that my camera is occupied. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my non-coloring Wink of Stella. I'm going to leave her there, and I'm just going to color her wings. Because don't you know that any flying pig would have shiny wings? I'm pretty sure of it. Alright. And a shiny snoozle. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to kind of wag. I can see that her little hind leg is touching the top of that wave, and so is her schnoozle. And that means I can line her back up again. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Karen. I hope she will. I know she's not having a very good day. Pain management is always a right booger. And it goes in such waves, and it's exhausting. So I'm definitely feeling for her tonight. Jean, I don't know if you're still on or if you've had to leave, but know that I'm thinking about you, girl. Alright, so remember, back leg there, snoot up on the wave, like so. Alright, next wave. Now it's really just a matter of kind of putting it together. The first time I saw this card out there, I thought it was the cutest darn thing. Just the cutest darn thing. Alright, so I know I had it about there so I could still see her little face. And that little smile on her little face. Like that. And then we'll get the next one. Just kind of double check my lined up. Alright, and then we'll get our back flipper. Well, you know, it's an original in that I just saw a picture of it. I didn't see any instructions. I had to recreate it myself, Julie. And I think the other person only had one piggy. So it's kind of a case, but kind of not. Okay, this little backflip girl, definitely a case. I never would have thought of that, but it's so freaking cute. Okay, so now let's see. Here's a little trick. I'm going to put this bottom piece on like that, just as a dry fit. And then I'm going to see where she goes. Like so, and move that out the way. Okay. And then we'll get the last piece of the ocean. The last piece of the ocean. That is correct, Verna. If they did not have shiny wings, they wouldn't be flying pigs. And we all know that flying pigs are a total thing. Back in the day when I was doing project management, they taught us a little something about critical chain project management. It was the project management process du jour. And in critical chain project management, one of the things that you did was try to change things that were causing problems with your organization. And the things that you knew needed to be changed, but were never going to happen because they were too big, too ingrained, too whatever, they called them, what? Flying pigs. It's true. All right, look, I kind of forgot her little toe there, so I'm going to just use my marker to fill that in. And there we go. Okay. All right. So that is our ocean. Now I'm going to put it on my, thank you, Karen. I'm going to mat it on my Flirty Flamingo mat with some Fast Fuse. And if you get a little Fast Fuse, or any of your adhesives actually, kind of out away from where they belong, just kind of give them a little flick with your fingers. And that'll set them back to rights. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this on here straight. Okay. And turn it over and give it a fall. Too big to fail, exactly. Too big to fail. That's a flying pig. Okay, so now I'm going to take some Flirty Flamingo Baker's twine and I'm going to unroll a bunch of it and we're going to wrap it around 3 times. 2, 3. Now I like to just use Scotch tape in the back because, you know, you can get it by the gross at Costco. And give that a little tape. And give this a little tape. And then I'm going to make these even, like that. I'm going to take another little piece of it and I'm going to tie it around the 3 pieces. She says, that's what she said she's gonna do. How she's going to do it, nobody will ever know. Alright. And then I'm going to, I want my bow to be about there. I'm just going to tie this in a little quick knot. Maybe, maybe not. It will be a knot, I just don't know how quick it's going to be. Okay. And then that brings those pieces together. And because I'm kind of anal that way, I'm going to trim those. Okay, now I'm going to make us a quick Billy Moan bow. Hey Jean, I'm glad you were able to stay on. I'm hoping Donna is sleeping right now. Or at least not hurting right now. Alright, we're going to make a Billy Moan bow. Remember how this goes? We're going to take and wrap 4 times around 4 fingers. And you can kind of adjust this for how big you want it or how small by changing how far apart your fingers are. I want this one to be not terribly huge, so I'm keeping my 4 fingers together. 2, 3, 4, and then you go 4 around 2 fingers, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut you a length like that. Okay, let's put you out the way here. And then we're going to get this kind of evened up here and squish it and give it a 1 twirl like so, and then wrap this around a couple of times and get a knot. Come on, fingers, don't fail me now. And before I make the second knot, I'm going to play with it a little bit and get it evened up. That's kind of the nice thing about these, is you can fiddle with them a little bit, so they look how you want them to look. Like that. And then when one comes loose, that's all right. You just wrap it back around, and we're going to give it another twist here. And another little knot. Like so. And you can find the side that looks the prettiest. Kind of spread them apart. It's a little fiddly. The linen thread is a little easier to work, I think, than the baker's twine. The baker's twine's a little softer and got a little less heft to it. But you can make it work. You just have to take your time with it. You have to not be thinking about people on the camera going, for God's sake, Mary, move along. It's going to be September before you're done with this card. Woman, woman. All right, that is close enough for government work. Unfortunately, I'm in the government, so I can take that. All righty. I'll give that a cut. And I'm going to put those both down like that, more like the tails of a ribbon bow, a bow. Okay, not my best Billy Moan ribbon bow. This is not a ribbon bow. Why do I keep saying ribbon bow? Does anybody know? I have no idea. All right, that's close enough for government work. Okay, so now I'm going to take a glue dot and adhere that right over where I made that knot. So this is a little trick I saw. If you're doing faux bows, or bows where you're not actually making a bow, then if you'll pull your ribbon, even if you just had one strip of ribbon here, an actual ribbon, take a little piece of twine or thread and tie it around that and pull it together, and that'll squinch the ribbon down in the same way that if you really were tying a bow, it would squinch the ribbon down. So if you don't do that, then it's pretty apparent to the universe that, you know, you've done a fake tie-on bow. It's like a clip tie. All right, so then we're gonna put that right there like that. And the beauty of these bows is that really they're not supposed to be perfect. If they're perfect, then they're just a regular bow, and what's the point of that? And then I took what time is it, y'all? Probably pretty late, huh? Oh dear, I'm taking way too long. I am so sorry, y'all. Alright, and then we'll put that right in the middle of our bow. And we're going to fiddle with that a little bit so that it looks right. And then we're going to set it aside. Okay, next up we're going to make the inside, and we're going to do that right quick like a bunny. Because so far I've done nothing quick tonight. I'm so sorry. And we are going to use the beautiful sentiment. I love the fonts in this stamp set. This is Count My Blessings, and it's going to be available on Friday. I love it, love it, love it. It's just got the prettiest fonts ever. And we'll put this on our block and get our Stamp-A-Majig set up. Don't need any more hogs and kisses. And we're going to do this in Dapper Denim. Okay, Paula, so it's okay? It's not too fast, too slow, too, oh my God, get done, please. We have a life, Mary. We have a life. Alright, there we go. Isn't that pretty? How pretty is that? Now let's see. You know, I wanted to do this a different order than I did last time. You can see what we did here. So if I was a smart girl, which I'm not always, let's just face it, I would do this a little different. When I did this the first time, I stamped the sentiment first, and then I stamped Miss Piggy over the top, and then I had to color her, which is fine. But if you pull that clear Wink Estella brush across that Dapper Denim, yes, you're going to have a blue Piggy. So you don't want to do that. I think I will go ahead and do it in the order that we did it before. I did it before. No, I'm not. I'm going to do the smart thing for once and do Miss Piggy first. So hang tight. Just pretend like I'm a smart person for a half a second. For 1/2 of a second, ladies. There you go. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that a lot. I have had people tell me they didn't like it, and I said, well, I have people who do, so yeah. Alright, so we're gonna do Miss Piggy, and I'm gonna wag her, so I'm not gonna do the whole stamp-a-majig here. So that's a little risky, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there that that's risky. We never know where it'll end up. Stick that over the top like so. And hold that in place. And tap, 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 tap. Alright. And I know I kind of want her off to the side like this. So we'll put her right there. Alright. Give her a quick color. Gotta get some more ink up there. Okay, Julie, I'll quit apologizing. God. Okay. Again with the clear Wink and some powder pink. We'll just give her a little color in. Don't get in too big a hurry or you'll go outside the lines. And yes, I understand it's okay to color outside the lines, but I think not when you're making a card. Not when you're making a card. Alright, here we go. I just love this stamp set so much. Their little faces. And I guess if pigs can fly, then we can do anything, huh? That's what I'm saying. Did you guys see that there's some new lottery commercial where they have a flying pig? That's about right. That's just about right there. And then I'll take my uncolored one and ink up her schnoozle and her wings. Were you guys sorry to see the gold Wink Estella go away? I wasn't particularly. I didn't use that one very much, but if this clear goes away, I'm going to be really sad. Really, really sad. Alright, we'll give her a little, right? Post-it notes are the bomb. You are correct, Mary. They do everything. And I go through them like, well, I don't even have a politically correct thing to say there. Okay, so let's put in some Flirty Flamingo coloring, a little shading. Again, not a whole lot, so I'm barely touching the color in my ink pad. Because I don't want it to be Flirty Flamingo, I just want a little shading right there like that. Alrighty. Yes, I can't believe you even said that out loud, Julie. Get it somewhere else, please. Alright, and color her little tail. Pick up a little bitter ink and color her little feet. She obviously has nail polish on. There we go. Okay, so there's Miss Piggy, And we're going to see. I could find that this is... Okay. Purple, pink, and orange wink of Stella. Oh, man. Black wink of Stella, Mary? That is awesome. I would like that. I remember when they brought out Wink of Stella at... It was at Onstage. It came out in an Occasions catalog, I think. And the whole place erupted in cheers. It was like the Super Bowl. Alright, so we're going to put that and kind of get it straightish. We're going to put it like that. And we're going to see how this works, folks. Remember the last time I did the sentiment first and then put Miss Piggy over the top and colored around my sentiment. This time I'm doing it opposite. Once I find my sentiment again. There it is. Okay. And we're going to see if that works. Ba-boom. I'm going to say that worked. I like it. Ooh! Lemon lime twist wink of Stella. Oh, Karen, brilliant idea. Brilliant. I'm going to put it in the product sandbox tomorrow. Julie, I want you to do the same thing. Yes, Mary, you are correct. It was a lot more work doing... Yes, it was a lot more work. And the whole time I was holding my breath because I just knew I was going to screw it up and pull some of that blue in and have to start it all over. Okay. And then we'll just put her on her... Oh, well, let's pretend you don't see that. Pretend you do not see that there. You're going to write something on this card anyway, right? So... They'll never see it. Okay, let me give my card base a quick score and fold at 5.5. So this is a piece of Dapper Denim. It is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score it and fold it at 5.5 inches. Yes, a sequin or a jewel might work there. Oh, I have to remember my little hearts too. And we'll get this folded. And a little burnish. Got the hair. I'm shedding. Gosh, you guys, the difference between Finn and his sister in size is just remarkable. She is so little compared to him. I like my big dog. Alright. Now, I have put on the first one, I put some, couple of hearts. My heart has disappeared. There they are. Okay. So, we'll put a couple of hearts around her. Like that. That'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to pop her on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Hang on a second. Alrighty. Needed a new pack. Suey? Yes, I see what you did there. Alright, some dimensionalize it. I'm going to dimensionalize it right here and get it popped on. Finn is exhausted, sound asleep, almost snoring under the table. His sister ran him good. Okay. There we go. There we have, oh, look at that. Non-shiny snoots. What the world, Mary? Non-shiny, uh-oh, don't do that one. Don't do that one. Non-shiny snoot is not okay. There we go. Okay, now we're good. And there's the card. And I won't do it now because in the interest of time, but for my envelope, I just did another of the flying pigs, colored exactly the same way with the clear wink. And then on the back, I used another piece of the Color Theory DSP. Remember how to do it. Just put a little thin line of liquid glue around the edge of the envelope flap, lay your paper over the top, burnish it down, and give it a quick fussy cut around the edges. And that's done. And so there you have it, folks. Pigs gone swimming. I thought it was a pretty cute idea when I saw one like it, and I wanted to shush it up a little bit to be my own. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will make it, and I hope I'll see y'all next Sunday. Have a great and wondrous week. Bye-bye. Thank you, Karen. You're sweet. Bye.